Welcome back, business besties. I'm so happy you're here. Do you want to learn today what I did? So I made seven figures when I did this. Do you want to know what it is? Today, we're going to be talking more about principles than tactics. I'm always walking you through things you could do, change, action steps that you can do right away. But today is a higher level conversation around how you're being every single day when you show up. Successful people act in a certain way, think in a certain way. There's principles, values that guide them. And this was actually a 20-year lesson. I learned this 20 years ago, and I think it's guided me through. And I'm finally going to tell you what it is. Are you ready? Here's the key to success that every successful business owner does every day and knows every day. And I made seven figures doing this. Three things. We're going to talk about clarity, commitment, and consistency. Write that down. Clarity, commitment, and consistency. I see some of you, you think you're clear. You're like, okay, clarity towards my goal. I want a group practice. I want to be fully booked. But are you really clear? Maybe because you've been hanging out with me a while, you know very clearly your revenue goal, how many therapists you want, and you're clear. Okay. But have you fully committed? Is the commitment there? I almost see it like your partner. When you met your partner and you decided you're going to be my life partner, you had the clarity. Okay. So in my case, like Dan's the one. And then commitment, I told him, I will be with you for the rest of my life. We got married. And then consistency is I show up every day choosing him. Here's the thing. I see you out there, not all of you, but some of you. You're not showing up every day choosing your group practice. You're distracted. And as I'm talking to you, I want you to think, okay, is it because I'm not clear, or is it because I haven't fully committed to this, or is it the consistency? We're mostly going to be talking about today consistency, which is focus, which is discipline, which is doing it every day. You've got the clarity. You chose the group practice. You got the commitment. You were all in. But are you doing it every day and showing up? I'm bringing this up because on the weekly, one of my beautiful business besties in the clinic growth map that I coach every week asks me, Nicole, should I do this other shiny thing? And sometimes it's way off. Like, should I write this book? Should I do this podcast? And here's the thing. Yes to all of it, but just not right now. It will water down your results. Now, I understand I'm with you. I have an entrepreneurial brain. I get bored really easy. I love shiny things. It gives me the dopamine hit. But literally, you can't have your foot on two gas pedals. So where are you going? If it's group practice, and that's why I was successful and hit the seven-figure mark, because every day, even when I was tired, even when I was bored, I picked foot on the gas going that way. I want to do all the other things. I think you deserve all those other things, but please don't do those other things. Hear this, until you hit your revenue goal with your practice. It's like, okay, foot on the gas going only one way, and your new background music is clarity, commitment, consistency. Clarity, commitment, consistency. It's interesting because I think a couple of issues pop up that impede our focus, because consistency is focus and discipline. And I want you to ponder, when you get sidetracked, oh, I want to do this online course. Oh, I want to do this other thing. Why? Why do you do that? Because we both know you don't get to either goal because you're only one person. And I believe we can't do two things really well. Think of the biggest brands you know. They typically have one thing that they're known for, like Amazon. Yeah, sure. He's got a couple other businesses, but really that's what he chooses every single day. And I think it's also when it feels hard. I feel you and I hear you. It feels hard when you have a pot of water and you're waiting for it to boil. Isn't that so brutal? You're waiting for it to boil, for the practice to get busy, and it's hard. And then the self-doubt comes in, and that's when you lose your focus. But here's the thing. It was a moment away from boiling. Or let's use the plant analogy. You've been watering that plant. You've been giving it sunlight. You put the seeds in the sand, or not, please don't do the sand. You put the seeds in the soil, and every day there's nothing. And then you wake up and say, you know what? maybe this isn't working and now you're not consistent and you're going to the next shiny thing because of self-doubt or because you're bored or just because it's hard. I see this. It's just this strength. That's what it is. It's this strength that every day successful people choose to get up at 5 a.m. and choose the same thing, even though the water hasn't boiled yet. I'm choosing it again. I'm going to put that plant in the window where there's lots of sun, even though I can't see the plant coming up at all. All I see is dirt. Is this really working? And I think too, it's trust. And we talk a lot about trust here, and I think it's because it's my greatest lesson. It really is. And I think you follow me in some ways because you trust me. Thank you. And because you trust my results and I give you the map. And sometimes it's hard to trust life, but if you just trust, okay, here is the map. I'm doing the right things because here's the truth. If you do the right things and you get an empty pot and you fill it with water and you put it on the stove at high temperatures, it will always boil. But who's going to have the strength and the trust to stand there when it's hard and choose consistency and focus and not get distracted? Foot on the gas, going only one way. Because here's the thing, I see some of you, and you've got foot on 2 gases, maybe 3 pedals, and you're literally going in circles. Now, some of them might be working. Sure. You might have a little course here. You might be doing a little bit of practice there, but are they reaching their revenue goals? And I want to reiterate, I'm not saying you can't have it all, my friend. You are here to have it all. All of it is yours. What I'm saying though, and life is way easier if you just pick simple and do one. And then when you hit your revenue goal, then you can do the other. Or even better, when you hit your revenue goal, then you can take your kids to Europe and maybe just work less. And maybe that other shiny thing doesn't matter anymore because you've learned to enjoy. Yes, please. I think one of the keys to my success as a business coach and offering the clinic growth map is I only offer one program. That is it. People ask me all the time, Nicole, why don't you offer another one and another one? I can have an ascension program. I can have a smaller program. We have so many 5-star Google reviews and amazing, beautiful results. And I'm just really committed. It's interesting. I'm all in with these guys. And every day I wake up asking myself, how can I make this program better? And that's why it's one of the best. And I do believe if I offered 5 other things that I did coaching for, I do believe it wouldn't be as good. Steve Jobs, I love him. I talk about him a lot. I'm going to read you this quote. Obviously, he really understood not only how to build a business that was $1 billion business, but he was so innovative with the brand and the impact that literally a human being can impact the whole world. So let's listen to his guidance, shall we? He says, people think focus means saying yes to the things you've got to focus on, but that's not what it means at all. Okay, listen to this part. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas there are. I'm going to say that twice. Love you, Steve Jobs. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas there are. I'm going to jump back into the rest of the quote, but I want to just share something. Can you say no more and simplify and pick easy, and then everything will flow? Your energy is also commitment. Your energy is focusing on one thing. That is powerful. I talk about manifestation, but I also think focus is saying no not only to other shiny things like a next good business idea, like the grass feels greener over here, this feels easier. I'm talking about that. But I'm also talking about saying no. As you get successful, people will reach out to you just to spend time with you. Hey, can I take you for dinner to do this? Can you show up on my podcast to do that? I get these requests a lot, and I'm following the uber successful and I'm following my heart, honestly. And I just asked myself, do I actually want to do that if I want to be guided by Steve Jobs' philosophy, or do I want to just say no? that's just a distraction. Yeah, it'd be fun and shiny, but it is actually a distraction. And then I just get to work less and enjoy my family more. So I really want you to think about, are there other things that you could be saying no to that feel, this is key, like an opportunity, but it is actually a distraction? I'm going to circle back to the 2 questions I asked myself that helped me decide if this is a good idea. But let's finish with Steve. He says, I'm actually as proud of the things we haven't done as the things we have. Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things. You saying no more, you will become more successful. Holy cow, taking stuff off your plate, that got me to 7 figures. Clarity, commitment, consistency, that got me to 7 figures. They are connected. Isn't this the best news? Oh my God. Doing less, but just focus. And it's hard because of the dopamine hit, and we get bored and it feels hard. And we say, maybe I should do another thing, but just trust and breathe into that inner strength because you are so strong. I also want to talk to you about the concept of doing more. Okay. A lot of you also lose focus with your marketing, not just with what you're doing, the overarching goal, which is growing your practice, but also I see you lose focus and you're quite scattered. And here's the thing. Okay. I am you. So I should say we. So I don't want you to at all feel like somehow you're different, because you're not at all. Talking to me too. But it is this, it's kind of like you see that a certain type of marketing is working. It's working. Let's say it's Google Ads, or let's say it's calling family doctors, or reaching out to therapists, or Psychology Today, or another directory, whatever it is, or SEO, or social media. And then you say, okay, now I have to do something else. Somehow doing a bunch of different things, you feel that that's what successful people do. But here's the truth. Focus. Do more. Go back. What's actually working? Pause me right now and think, where have my last 5 referrals come from? Do more. Don't take your eye off that prize. Squeeze all the juice out of it. A good one that I've talked to you about in the marketing series, the Summer Slump marketing series, go back a few episodes. You'll love that. I shared that there was multiple doctors referring to me. I did more of that. I called those doctors who already trusted me and said, hey, do you have doctor friends? You see that? That's what's doing more. Instantly, it brought in 20 grand a month for so many years. I want to say like 3 to 5 years, because I did more of what was working. I didn't say, oh, now I have to do this. Now I have to do this. And it could be my fault. Is it my fault? I feel because I give you so much to do, I don't help with the shiny things, because you're probably thinking, oh, okay, here's another thing I can do. And I am all about diversifying, but not yet. It's almost like, think of making an investment. Let's say you have a financial advisor. If you're flowing wealth and abundance from doing one type of investment, he's not going to say, also invest in GICs and stocks. He's going to be like, wow, let's go. Let's double down on what's working. I also have a lot of shiny things. In the McCants method, I was thinking, oh, maybe I should do a TED Talk, or maybe I could write a book for you, because a book would be pretty cool, right? To put it all in a book. But here's the 2 questions that I ask myself. And then it's a no. Actually, there's 3. So the first one is, will it take my focus away from my one program that will change their life? And it will. My second question, and these are like there's 3, but the two next ones are the big ones. Will it make me money? Will it make me happy? Write that down. Will it make me money doing a TED Talk or writing a book? Not really. I wrote a book 10 years ago. It was great. It was a bestseller. Books don't make you money. They give you authority, but for me, I don't need that, right? So money and happiness. I know, don't judge me because I want to make money. We've talked about that, right? Like, I'm shouting that from the rooftops, all the abundance all day long. I'm up for it. So should you be. And it was a no. Both of them were a no, because being more busy will never make me happy. If I decide to write a book, and by the way, if I ever write a book, shake me. Okay. Be like, remember what you said, Nicole, take your own advice. But I won't because I'm committed, right? Clarity, commitment, consistency. But will filling my days writing, like it's a lot of work. I think entrepreneurs, they underestimate the amount of work. There's some sort of like something like an attribution bias related to this, by the way. We underestimate the amount of work. And I know that I am living my best life when I open up my calendar and I have like 2 or 3 things to do. And that's my whole summer. Actually, this summer, every day I'm off at 2:30. I'm always in the pool. I'm always going for a walk. And that's why I'm working so hard. Isn't that why you're working so hard? So ask yourself those questions. For me is, will it take me away from my actual goal? Does it make me money? Does it make me happy? If none of those are a yes, then it has to be a no. Some of you say, well, it's related. I hear this. So you're like, okay, the reason I stopped marketing my group practice or my practice to start this podcast is, well, won't the podcast bring it in the clients? And I understand where you're coming from. But here's the analogy. It's kind of like you're building a house. That's your practice. This house you will own for the rest of your life and be an asset, and you get to live in it and enjoy it. And then I leave you for a couple days and I can't find you in the house anymore, but you're in the back and you're now building a pool. And I'm like, I thought you wanted to move into the house. The house isn't being built now because now you're building the pool. The house is half built. And you say, well, it's related, because eventually I want a pool anyway. But do you see that the house can't be built if you're in the back building the pool? And something like a podcast, I do not suggest for marketing at all. It is not direct. It's just not, I want you to do the fastest way to building the house. And guess what? The fastest way to building the house is building the house, following the people who have built the house. And none of us are saying it's a podcast or a pool. This also has to do with, should I build a multidisciplinary clinic? Or should I open up a second location? So these are questions I get quite a bit. So here's the thing. In my program, I help you, as you know, build a therapy practice, psychotherapy practice. And that could have all the modalities. We also did neurofeedback, but I suggest building only mental health first. Clarity, mental health. Commitment, only mental health. Consistency, do it every day. The reason is, once you add the massage therapist, the chiropractor, and I know that is your dream, that maybe you want a multidisciplinary clinic that will help children, and that you feel and know in your gut that that's why you're on this planet to do this. I've just noticed that if you complicate it, because it's more complicated, other modalities that you don't know, how do you know about liability insurance, malpractice insurance, like the pricing, like it's all outside of our scope. Plus the rooms, you can't run the same because now you have a bed in a room. How does that work? Do you have storage for the bed? Like all the things, right? Or like a chiropractic bed, I guess we could call it. I suggest pick easy, simplify. When clarity, commitment, consistency, just do one thing, foot on the gas, only one way, do it well, and then only when you reach your revenue goals, you can add the new layers of complication. The same goes for another location. Do not open up a second location until you've mastered the first, because then, my friend, you can just rinse and repeat. But if you rinse and repeat a bit of a mess of a location, then you rinse and repeat messes. If you do this, you will be successful. It's just a consistency piece. Focus. It's like you're walking or you're running this long marathon, and I'm on the other side waiting for you, because it is all happening. It is all coming your way. You are almost there. Just choose private practice every day. And I'll see you next week.